Today we'll be viewing another embarrassment of an animated story. This one is probably worse than the other one we reviewed last time. This one is called My Nephew Got Me Pregnant 2 Times. And you thought getting breastfed at 16 was horrible enough. You got somebody getting pregnant by their family member. I don't get why people live a fantasy where they think that this stuff is okay when it really isn't. But we'll just see what this person has in store and what their reason is for this.
Hi, I am Tina.
Also, the channel that made this video has made other videos where girls will always be sexualized like this, so watch out for that.
And I was 24 years old when all of this started. My story is a bit different from others, and it would not be unfair if I call it a dangerous story. I was in high school when I fell in love with a boy who was cool and all the girls were after him. I thought that it would be the dream if he falls in love with me. But the miracle happened, and one day he proposed to me. I did not know his intentions, but I like him too. After he said he loves me, it did not take him long to take me to his bed.
I mean, I get that they are married and all, but like you can see that she's already moving on just to put sex in this story. It's what this story is all about, just sex in general, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, I lost my flower to him, and I was pretty happy and satisfied with him until I got pregnant. He was a good guy that he married me after he got me pregnant, but that is not the story. The story that I wanted to share will start now. I moved in with my husband and we had a cute little baby boy. We were cherished and happy, until I got the news that my husband's sister and his husband died in a car accident, and their son is all alone. Kim was 15 years old. After the funeral, my husband insisted that we should take him home to live with us, otherwise he will be living on the street. I agreed, and we took him home. I was 22 at the time, and I was young and beautiful.
Yes, let's admire my beauty on this video. That's why I'm totally making it, so I can show you how hot I am and why I got pregnant.
Even after having a baby, my figure was perfectly fine, and I was a bombshell. Well, you've got the picture that I wanted to portrait. My husband had started his business at that time, and he was too busy with that. He would go for business tours for 7 days and 15 days, and I would be all alone with his nephew. I had no such thoughts about him until one day I went to take a shower and I forgot to take my towel. It was just around the corner. I thought he would be asleep, as he had to get up early in the morning, and I'm all alone. I got out of the washroom to get my towel and found him standing in front of me. I was completely naked and he was looking at my body.
You know, that is the weirdest and the fakest thing I've heard in my entire life. How do you forget your towel when you're about to go take a shower? The whole point of after taking a shower is to dry yourself off. You would never forget your towel, so you know this is just fake.
I froze there and he took a fine gaze on my whole body until I got back to my senses. "What are you doing up so late?" I asked.
See, it's fake. Why would you react like that? Dog, you should be covering yourself up. That's your nephew. He's only 15.
"I was just going to drink water from the kitchen," he replied. And in that talk, I was still standing in front of him and he was still looking from top to bottom. Then he turned and went back to his room. I took my towel and went back to take a shower. I could not stop thinking about him looking at me like that. His eyes were telling me that he wanted to touch me at that instant, but he stopped his hand and went back.
You're supposed to be taking care of him, not trying to have any fantasy like that with your nephew. What the heck?
He was all over my mind after that. After some days, I saw him peeking on me while I was taking a shower or changing clothes. He was always looking for chances to take a look at my body again. He wanted to see me naked again and again. One day I was in the garden and my panties were on the wire to dry out. He did not know that I was keeping my eye on him at moments too. He took one of my panties and started sniffing it and kissing it.
That is your cue to stop him from doing that. Instead, you want him to do that because you want that attention.
On that day, I knew what he actually wanted from me. He wanted to be physical with me, and I had no clue about that.
What the fuck?
I was just thinking that it was behind my body and watching me was enough for him. But he wanted much more than that.
Ugh, did y'all hear that noise that was in the background while she was pausing, bro? Hold on, I'm gonna play that again for y'all. What is she even doing, man? No, we'll just continue with the story.
These events were becoming normal. Some of my clothes were starting to disappear from my closet. One day I was cleaning his room and under his pillow, I found them. I was sure that it was time to teach him some lesson about privacy. He was taking a shower and I thought that I should peek on him too. That way he would know how it feels to be looked at while having a shower.
Ma'am, he knows better. That's not how you teach a kid. That's just you want to see his little thingy.
At that time, when I went in, what I looked at was unbelievable. My eyes were wide open and I fell for him. But he did not react to that. I went to shock him and got shocked instead. I come back from the washroom pretending like it was an accident. After he came out of the washroom, I looked at that again.
Question, how is any of this okay? You're 22, he's only 15, and he's part of your family. How is this okay to you? I don't get it.
He knew from my face that I liked him. He was just pushing my limits so that I would have an affair with him. He started treating me differently after that. He would tell me all about his life and what is going on. I was feeling the change and he was trying to get closer to me. I was a little on the back foot. I knew exactly what he wanted from me, but I pushed him away every time.
That's your job as an adult. He shouldn't really be having any sexual tensions with you.
I did not want to ruin my relationship with my husband, as I was already a mother of his child, and having an affair with his nephew was not a good option. But he kept—
No buts. You're blaming it on him, but it should be your responsibility to push him away from those intentions. That's your fault, buddy.
One night when my husband was in another country, we were watching a movie and a kissing scene came on. I ignored his eyes once again, and he leans down on me and put his head on my shoulder. I got up and went to my room. He followed me to my room, and he sat beside me. "Do you need anything, Kim?" I asked. He did not speak for a moment, and he kissed me suddenly. I was shocked, but he kissed me right. I kissed him back, and all of that started. We had a good time together on my bed, where my husband and I used to have a good time.
This is all made up. None of this is real. I'm glad it's not real.
Due to my husband's long trip, we had done this many times that I lost count. Life had become romantic again, and we were doing it on a daily basis now. I loved to be with him until that day of disaster came. I made the same mistake that I had made with my husband in high school. I did not use protection, and I got pregnant again.
This is exactly what lust does with a lot of people. Stuff like this.
I was afraid now that this child might be abnormal or might look like his nephew, and my husband would know in no time. I never told his nephew that I was pregnant with his child. He kept using my body the same way, and we enjoyed our last moments until the baby was about to arrive in this world. After a few months, when the boy got bigger, he started to look the same as his nephew, and my husband asked me if I was having an affair with his nephew. I was quiet at that. I should have told him or lied to him, but I had no words to explain.
Yeah, because now you feel guilty for what you did.
I was just standing there quietly. He started to keep an eye on me and his nephew after that. He would go on trips, but would return unexpectedly. It was his routine now to keep an eye on our every move. He was trying to find the clue that we were having an affair. His nephew tried to convince me to sleep with him once more, but I knew that my husband was keeping an eye on us. My husband had placed cameras all over the house, and I had no idea about them. After his nephew insisted so much, I had to give up on him. I was missing him. After I agreed, we went to our room. My husband was watching us from the camera, and we were having quality time. That might be the last time I would be having a good time. We repeated that several times, and my husband just kept recording us. When he came back from the trip, he played our videos on the big screen and made us watch that. After that, we had a big fight, and he left me with divorce papers. Now, you must be thinking that we would have been living happily after that, like every story, but that was not the case in this one. I started to live with his nephew, and with time, he was not that much attracted towards me. I was the mother of 2 children, and he had no lust for my flower anymore. He wanted some fresh flowers for himself. I had no idea that he would get bored of me so soon. As long as it was an affair, he was very energetic and was looking for even 5 minutes to have some fun with me. But now I was all his. I was sleeping on his bed all night, and he did not touch me.
Don't make it seem like it's his fault now.
One day I was out to have some groceries for my kids, and I came back and saw his nephew with a high school girl on our bed. He was having a fresh flower, and I could not bear it. I could not kick him out of my house either. I asked the girl to leave instantly, and she left. Kim said he was sorry, but I knew I made a mistake, that I left my husband for him. I am stuck with him, and I have to live with him now. He is using me and treats me as he likes, and I have no say in anything now. If I stop him from doing that, he might get another girl in this house, and I did not want that. I am just stuck in limbo, where I am a slave of a 17-year-old boy who is making out with me, without any emotions, and I am giving him everything without any particular reason, just being jealous that he might bring in another girl if I did not fulfill his needs. I am thinking about marrying him one day. I need to bear everything until he turns 18 and I ask him to marry me for the sake of his child. I am keeping the card in my hand to make him marry me. I will tell him on his 18th birthday that it was his child due to which my husband suspected us and gave me my divorce. He has to marry.
This is the fakest story or the weirdest story I've ever heard, because an adult having an affair with a 15-year-old, that's never gonna happen. Okay, I'm lying about that because it probably did happen, but like, especially with family members, I don't know what type of person wants to live a fantasy where they want to have an affair with their family members, especially if they're like in their 20s and the family member they want to have an affair with is actually like young, like way younger than that. Like, that's just weird. I see a big problem in that. I don't even think there has to be a lesson of the day. It's just common sense not to do any of this. So yeah, I'm out of here. I'll see you next time. Stay out of trouble. Peace.